Now, the Australian envoy to India, Barry O'Farrell, has said that under leadership of new Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, Canberra would like to accelerate the economic partnership with India. Prime Minister Modi held a bilateral with his Australian counterpart in Tokyo on Tuesday on the sidelines of the Quad. This was the first bilateral between the two sides since Albanese's election victory over the weekend. Speaking to WION's principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal exclusively, envoy Barry said that despite the change of government within democracies, the commitment can be maintained. Let's listen into this discussion.
With me is the Australian envoy to India. So welcome to WION. Today we saw the Quad Summit happening in Tokyo. How do you see the Quad Summit, its outcomes, and of course at a time when we know your country is going to host a summit next year?
Look, further progress in Quad leaders meetings. This is only the fourth, only the second in person, and it's again demonstrated that the Quad's committed to practical measures to try and improve the future of the Indo-Pacific region.
So you have a new Prime Minister. He met the Indian Prime Minister. How do you see the trajectory of the relationship between the two countries, given the bonhomie we saw previously between the two leaders?
Well, a strong message that despite the change of government, that in democracies, the commitment can be maintained. My Prime Minister, within hours of being sworn in, jumped on a plane to go to Tokyo to meet with Prime Minister Modi and other members of the Quad, a clear demonstration of our commitment to the Quad. And secondly, our Foreign Minister who accompanied him, her first bilateral meeting with anybody, with Dr. Jaishankar, which again demonstrates the strength of the Australia-India relationship.
What can we expect under the new leadership of the new Prime Minister in Australia when it comes to New Delhi? New Delhi has already been a priority for your country, but under the new leadership, how do we see the change or perhaps more reaffirmation of the relationship?
Well, the Australian Prime Minister has already been clear that what he'd like to do is to further accelerate the economic partnership between both countries, but also the partnership in particular in relation to renewable energies. India is doing enormous things across the country in switching towards renewables. Australia believes we can not only assist that, but we can learn from India to ensure that we're doing the same thing back home.
So my last question to you is, Australia hosts the Quad Summit next year. What will the key priority in front of your country when it comes to hosting the summit? What will you like to be seen as the more key areas, especially at a time of aggressive Chinese actions in the region?
Look, I think clearly the role of the Quad will continue to be in core areas that practically support the region, whether it's cybersecurity, maritime security, whether it's climate change, whether it's vaccine and health issues. Those issues do not have a finish line. But, you know, at the base of at the heart of the Quad is a commitment to a free, open and secure Indo-Pacific. And that's the vision we share with other countries in the region who want to sign up to a world in which sovereign nations are respected, where there is freedom and where there's openness within countries.
Well, thank you so much for speaking to WION.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.